Hi guys, welcome back to Cernys. Today we are going to a virtual road trip to Wyoming today.
Alright guys, we're going to Wyoming. If you haven't already, go to cernysjourneys.com and print off your map. It's on the homepage. There's also a link to our blog so you can follow along with our journeys or you can create your own. Alright guys, let's find Wyoming.
Right here.
Alright, you're right. So it borders Montana, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Nebraska, and South Dakota. So Wyoming became the 44th state to join the United States in 1890. It is the 10th largest in size. However, it has the fewest people of any state living in it. So the capital and the biggest city is Cheyenne, and it's considered the equality state. You want to know why it's considered the equality state?
No.
So it was the first state to grant women the right to vote. And it was also the first state that had women sit on juries and hold public office. So that's pretty cool. So another first for Wyoming was the first state to establish a county library system. So the Laramie County Library became a public library in 1886, making it the first public library in the U.S. So kind of cool. So we're also going to go to another first. The first we're going to go. Another first we're going to go to is Yellowstone National Park. And it's a first because it was the first national park in the world. So kind of cool.
First?
Yeah, and it was established in 1872. So what's cool about Yellowstone is it's got 3,500 square miles of park. That means that's anything from, and it's all wilderness atop a volcanic hotspot. So that's what's kind of cool. Have you guys heard of Old Faithful?
No.
No. Well, Old Faithful is a geyser. So geysers are they come out of the water. They're intermittent discharges of water, and they just come out of the water in a really fast steam. And it's a phenomenon. Actually, it's a fairly rare phenomenon. Well, it's formed, so they say that it's a hydrogeologic condition that exists only in a few places on Earth. And of course, the cool thing about Yellowstone is approximately half the world's geysers happen in Yellowstone National Park. And one of the most famous ones, although probably not the most active or the highest or hottest, but it is one of the most famous. So Old Faithful, it erupts about every 90 minutes approximately, and it lasts about 1.5 to 5 minutes every time it shoots up. And so it expels between 3,700 to 8,400 gallons of this water every 90 minutes. And
that's crazy.
I know, and it's boiling water. So they say the approximate temperature of the water is 169.7 degrees Fahrenheit. That would absolutely burn you, for sure.
But you like going in hot water.
Well, not that hot. That hot, you'd be in the hospital, girl. Yep. And
that would have burned your skin.
Yep. And the geyser, when it shoots out really high and really fast. And the Old Faithful's anywhere between 106 to 184 feet in the air. Tall. It's really, oh yeah, it's taller than our house. Quite cool.
Bigger than the Earth?
No, not bigger than the Earth, silly girl. So anyways, go on to Yellowstone National Park, and you can actually watch videos about Old Faithful, and you can actually see it. So they have some really cool things there. And in fact, this is probably one of the coolest national park pages because they have a lot of interactive activities available.
I want to see that.
Yeah, you see? All right, so another notable, but we're not going to talk much about it, national park is Grand Teton is another one. Grand Teton. And then the Devil's Tower National Monument is another one. And then Fort Laramie National Historic Site. So Wyoming's got a ton of national parks and sites. So definitely check out our national parks because we love them, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's move along. We're going to talk about Buffalo Bill. You heard of Buffalo Bill?
No.
Let me tell you about Buffalo Bill.
He's a cowboy.
Right. So William Frederick Cody, he lived from 1846 to 1917. He was a soldier as well as a bison hunter and a showman. Oh, you are so silly, son. In 1867, though, he got his nickname of Buffalo Bill. And he did this when he was working for the Kansas Pacific Railroad. And he was working as a buffalo meat provider. So he would actually go out and shoot buffalo so they could provide meat. And he was actually in a challenge, for lack of better words, and he shot 69 buffalo in the challenge, which was a big deal. So anyways, he ended up back in Wyoming, and in 1896, he founded the town of Cody, Wyoming. Prior to that, though, he did Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, in which he did a lot of things showing cowboy skills. So lassoing, riding rodeo horses kind of thing, and a lot of fun stuff. Oh, you guys are pretending that you are. But I will tell you that there is a cool museum. It's called the Buffalo Bill Center of the West. And the Buffalo Bill Center of the West has a absolute ton of virtual experiences. Not only can you take a tour of the museum, but they have videos you can watch, they have arts and crafts that you can learn and do with your family, those kind of things. So definitely check it out. The cool thing about the museum is it's split into 5 different types of museums under one museum. So they obviously have the Buffalo Bill Museum, where they talk about Buffalo Bill and other famous figures, cowboys and cowgirls. They have the Plains Indian Museum, which of course they talk about the Plains Indian, their culture, and some of their traditions and stuff like that. They have the Whitney Western Art Museum, the Draper National History Museum, as well as the New Cody Firearms Museum. So all things that are really Wild West traditions. So definitely check it out. I think it's a really cool thing. There's a lot of great resources, and yeah. So that's on Buffalo Bill. All right. The last place we're gonna go to, and I think a really cool place.
Space?
It's called the Quebec 01 Missile Alert Facility State Historic Park.
Wow.
I know. Say that a lot of words, right?
Yeah.
But it's part of the Wyoming State Park System. And what's cool about this place is it is the only accessible peacekeeper missile test facility left in the world. So that's really cool. So this place is like one of those hidden in plain sight type of places. And so it was used to control the destructive nuclear weapons that were built by the U.S. And so you can go and take a tour of the facility, and you can learn all about this. You can basically get a glimpse into the day-to-day activities of the people who were the missileers. So those are the people. Well, they're the people who control the missiles. You can take a look at the personnel. You can look at the technology, and a lot of it happened during the Cold War, and we've already talked about the Cold War, right?
Yeah, well, it's cool.
No, it was between the U.S. and Russia. Remember?
It's cool.
No, you're silly. And it ended in 1991. Remember, we talked about it. And it also talks about the Cold War, so it has Cold War stuff. And then it also talks. No, you're silly. And then it has also the deactivation of the missile system. So you can take a tour of the site, and it's really kind of cool. And learn more about that, especially because it's literally the only one left in the world, which makes it really cool. So definitely would consider doing that. What do you guys think of Wyoming? Pretty cool?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for today's virtual road trip to Wyoming. Hope you enjoyed it.
Bye, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.
See you next time.